Alien general woman approached me and said my father always talked about you. The war had ended 5 years ago, but some wounds did not heal, and some names were never forgotten. I had left the battlefield behind, changed my name, moved to the edge of a quiet colony on a peaceful moon where the stars no longer roared. I worked with my hands, I lived simply, and I thought the past had finally let me go. Then one day, I heard the sound of footsteps behind me, slow, strong, deliberate. I turned around, and there she stood. She was tall, armored silver plating over her shoulders, glowing lines running down her arms and legs. Her skin was deep violet, her eyes sharp gold. Her presence was heavy, like someone who had spent her life carrying the weight of thousands. She looked at me as if seeing something both familiar and strange. "You are the human called Jalen," she said. "I am," I answered, unsure what she wanted. "My name is Virea," she said, "daughter of General Kale of the Oberii Legion. My father always talked about you." The name hit me like a hammer in the chest. Kale, that name was carved into memory, into scars. He had been my enemy and my ally, my rival, and my shadow during the Long War. He had also been the closest thing I had to a friend on the battlefield. A strange bond forged in blood and fire across lines drawn by stars. "Your father was a great soldier," I said, "brave and disciplined. I respected him more than I could ever say." "He respected you," Virea said. "He said if he were ever to trust a human, it would be the one called Jalen." "What happened to him?" I asked. "He died," Virea said. "His ship was destroyed in a border raid 2 cycles ago. He went down with it rather than surrender." I closed my eyes for a moment. The weight of his absence settled like dust on my shoulders. "He died with honor," I said. "He died remembering you," she said. "In his final message, he spoke of your last battle together. He said you had saved his life when you could have walked away." "It was nothing," I said. To him it was everything. We stood in silence. The wind moved softly through the trees around my home. The sky was low with pale clouds. "Why are you here, Virea?" I asked. "To see the man who stood beside my father even as an enemy. To understand why he spoke of you with such pride." "There is nothing special about me," I said. "I was a soldier doing what had to be done." "He said you were more than that," she replied. "He said you were the one who taught him what humanity could be." I did not know what to say, so I turned and opened the door to my home. "Come in," I said. Inside, I poured her water from the spring behind my house. She removed her helmet and set it beside her. Her hair was dark and braided back tightly. Her face was hard from war, but her eyes held questions. "He told me you spared him once," she said, "when you had every right not to." "I did," I said. "We had cornered his squad. They were broken low on power, unable to fight. Command wanted them executed. I refused." "Why?" "Because surrender should mean mercy. Because I saw the way he stood in front of his soldiers ready to die for them. I could not kill a man like that." She nodded slowly. "And after that you fought together," she said. "Briefly," I said. "Our 2 squads were trapped on the same battlefield, surrounded. We had no choice but to work together. We survived." "Barely." "He said you carried him when he could not walk." "He carried me too," I said, "just in different ways." She was quiet then. I could see something changing in her expression, like a storm softening. "He left me a message for you," she said finally. "He recorded it before his last mission." I felt my heart slow. A cold knot formed in my chest. "May I hear it?" I asked. She pulled out a small device from her armor and placed it on the table. A light blinked, and then his voice came through. Rough, deep, steady. "Jalen, if this message reaches you, then I am gone. I never thought I would say this, but I am glad you were my enemy. Because you were the kind of enemy I could respect. You fought with honor, with fire, with something that my people never understood. You saved me once. More than once. And though we stood on different sides, we stood as soldiers, not as monsters. I hope you found peace. I hope you found silence. Thank you, my friend." The message ended. I sat there staring at nothing. "He called you friend," she said. "He was mine too," I whispered. The days that followed, Virea stayed. She camped outside my home in a small tent she unfolded from a compact device. Each morning she trained. I watched her, sometimes saw the precision in her movement, the echoes of her father. "You fight like him," I said once. "He taught me," she said. "He trained me from the moment I could hold a blade. But he never let me forget that enemies are people too." "Wise man," I said. She looked at me. "He became wise because of you." "I do not deserve that," I said. "He believed you did." One morning we walked into the hills. The wind was sharper there. We sat on a flat stone overlooking the valley. "He told me war broke him," she said. "That before you, he thought humans were savages. And after I asked, he thought we were just like him," she said. "Flawed, proud, lost, and searching for meaning." "He was right," I said. She turned to look at me. "You carry guilt." "We all do," I said. "Do you ever dream of those days?" "Every night," I said. "Me too," she said. That evening we shared food by the fire. I cooked something simple, roots, fish, and herbs. She watched me quietly. "You live differently than I expected," she said. "I got tired of noise," I said. "Of command and structure. I wanted quiet. And have you found it?" "Sometimes." And sometimes I remember things I would rather forget. She nodded. Me too, she said. Over time, her presence changed something in the air. She asked questions not just about war, but about music, about trees, about the way we built homes. She listened with a kind of hunger not for knowledge, but for understanding. You are not like the soldiers I knew, I said. Neither are you, she replied. One night, I saw her kneeling in the grass near the spring. She was holding something small, in her hands a charm carved from bone. What is that, I asked. It is for my father, she said. He gave it to me before my first battle. He said it would remind me of who I was before the war. Does it? Sometimes, she said. When I let it, you miss him. Yes, I miss him too, I said. Weeks passed. She helped me build a new roof, repaired the old drone that watched my fields. She told me stories of her world, its sky a deep crimson, its trees tall and glassy, its cities buried now beneath ashen silence. Will you return, I asked. To what she said. My home is gone. The war left nothing behind. Then what will you do? She looked at me and said, I do not know. I thought seeing you would answer that. And has it? Not yet. One morning we walked to the ridge where the stars were clearest. She pointed to a bright cluster near the horizon. That was my home, she said. It is beautiful, I said. It was, she whispered. We stood in silence as the stars turned slowly above us. Do you think your father ever forgave me, I asked. She looked at me. He did more than that. He admired you. I wish I could have said goodbye. You just did, she said. She stayed for a month. Then another. My house became quieter when she was not in it. I noticed the way she moved through space like she belonged. I noticed how my dreams were softer when she was near. Do you ever think of leaving, I asked one night. Not anymore, she said. Why? Because here I am not a general. I am just a person. That is all I ever wanted to be, I said. She smiled. Maybe that is why my father liked you. The day she left came like a storm without clouds. A message reached her from her people. Not soldiers, but survivors. A small colony on a distant moon. They had called for her. They needed someone strong, someone wise, someone with her name. Will you go, I asked. I must, she said. They need me. I nodded. Will I see you again? I did not know, she said. But if I can, I will. She paused. Would you come if I asked? Yes, I said without hesitation. She stepped closer and touched my hand. You gave my father something he never found anywhere else. I think you gave me that too. And what is that? Hope, she said. She left at dawn. Her ship rose over the hills, disappearing into the sky like a silver star. I stood there watching until the sky was empty again. But something stayed. A feeling. A promise. A memory. I returned to my home alone. But not the same. The past had found me. And this time it had not come to haunt me. It had come to thank me. And somehow, that made all the difference.